Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the SoCal Watch Reviews podcast. My name is Miguel, episode 72. P. Ross had to go to work, so he's coming, straight from work. How's it
Yeah,
going, P. Ross?
live from the Millennium Falcon. You know what I mean? We are in the building. What's up?
What's up, buddy? So, hey, we got not one guest, we got two guests with us today. So, you mind doing the intro?
Okay, first of all, uh, I've watched this guy's YouTube videos. He actually has two YouTube channels. Okay, Gary from I Like Watches 1 and 2, and then we got James. His Instagram is JF underscore watches underscore 99. They are in the building right now today. Let's get into it.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, buddy. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. James, how's it going,
Yeah.
buddy?
Also,
Yeah.
very well.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Now we're all in different parts of the world. So I'm in Southern California. My man P. Ross is in
The
Ohio.
great state of Ohio.
That's debatable, but no, I'm just kidding. And what about you guys? Where are you guys located?
James?
I'm located in Ontario, Canada.
Nice, Gary.
And I'm in the southeast of the UK or England in Maidenhead.
Very
Okay.
nice, very
Mm.
nice. That's cool.
That's what's
It's
up.
so cool that the watch collecting can bring people together from all over the world, right? Different
100%.
backgrounds,
Absolutely, yeah.
nationalities. I mean, look at the screen, people. I mean, and everybody listening. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see what I'm talking about. Different nationalities, different parts of the world, but we all have something in common. So
Absolutely.
Yes,
that's
sir.
pretty cool. So I'm interested to know what's on you guys' wrist. So why don't we start off, I guess, with to my left, to my right, James, and then kind of go from there.
All right, so I have the Exciton prototype on my wrist on a strap. I've been loving this thing. Bring this design to life was just a dream of mine, and I don't actually really know how it happened, but it happened now.
I know how it happened.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. So I guess before we go really further into the wrist checks, just to let everybody know that's watching and listening, these two actually started a watch company, J&G, and we're going to talk about it them individually, and then talk about the watch. So James, Gary, what's on your wrist?
So I'm in the process of wearing the San Martin SN019. That's their homage to the most recent Rolex Submariner. And because I'm going to review it soon, I like to wear the watches for a day or two at least. But I have been wearing this one, I must confess, for more than just a day or two. I did consider wearing my Exciton, but I had a sneaky feeling James would be wearing his. I might be in trouble for not wearing it at the end of the video, but I've had this on all day, so it's what I'm rocking at the moment. Yeah, I love it. It's a good watch.
Very cool. P. Ross?
Seiko 5 SNK 789 on straps, coach strap, leather strap. What
Can't
is
go
actually
wrong.
Desire, so you know.
Sorry. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Well, today I'm wearing my classic, and the rebuy for me. I sold it and had to rebuy it. The Seiko Sarb 033,
Oh,
and
nice.
have it king leather strap, so custom leather strap here. Classic. I mean, I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
have ever handled a
I just
Seiko
sold
Sarb.
my 033 and
How dare
replaced
you.
it with a 035. I
Oh,
literally
okay,
the next
okay.
day.
I was gonna give you so much grief, and then you saved the day by saying that. Man,
Yeah.
there's such amazing watches. I mean,
Yeah.
now it's not a great value, but when they were at retail, incredible. It's just like, how can you get this for $300 or $350? This is crazy. Like,
Yeah,
such a
they're
good
nowhere
watch.
near that these days. Nowhere near it.
No, and people keep commenting back to my video review, and I did this well over a year ago. And people, keep commenting like, "Is the Sarb still a great value?" And I'm like, well, depends what you what you mean by value, but $700, probably not. But if you could get it for maybe five or less, it's an icon, and I think it's probably just gonna go up. So maybe,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's talk about.
Before we get started, I just want to say rest in peace to one of the greatest rappers of all time. DMX passed away this week.
Yeah.
One of the greatest, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So may he rest in peace for sure.
Okay. All right. I thought you were gonna do your little roof or your little bark, but
Nah,
all right.
nah, nah,
No, no
man.
bark. All right.
No barking.
All right. Yeah. I'm not
Maybe
sure
at
if you
the end.
guys.
Maybe at the end. Maybe at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if our guests even listen to rap music or know who DMX is, but yeah. You
A little,
rapper.
a
Yeah.
little bit every now and then.
Okay. Now I know for sure DMX definitely changed the game and brought something different to the table. And obviously he suffered from addiction, and that's definitely a real problem that
Mhm.
it's an epidemic, and hopefully anybody listening or watching, if you have some kind of issue, please get help and always love yourself first. So, we'll leave it at that. But anyway, if you guys don't mind, let's talk about you guys. James, we could start off with you real quick, just kind of let the people know who you are and what got you into watch collecting, and then Gary, we'll go with you.
Yeah, of course. So, my name is James. On Gary's channel, he mentioned that I'm a scientist, and I am. I
Cool.
finished my bachelor's of chemistry a while ago, and then after that, I finished my PhD in photonics under the Department of Electrical Engineering.
Mm.
And during that time, I've been loving mechanical watches. Um, I got my first mechanical watch pretty much at the end of high school, and that was the Orient Mako,
Oh, nice.
yep, which I still have. And then I've been wearing mechanical watches ever since. And I know you guys heard of the term like, no one really needs a watch these days, but for my occupation, a watch is a very dependent tool, and it's something that I rely on every day. Um, and then towards the end of my graduate school, I realized that there wasn't really a watch that suited my needs. Um, and so I wanted to design one. And then from one thing that led to another, I contacted Gary, and then we got this thing made. And we can talk more about that later.
Very cool.
Ooh.
Now, let me before we move on to Gary. Is there a lot of magnetism in your field or where in your line of work where maybe you need something like the male gals, right? And that's what it was designed for back in the days for anti-magnetism, all that stuff.
That is an excellent question. I will tell you that I work with magnets pretty much every single day. However, I have never been personally affected by magnetism, right?
Interesting.
Um,
Mm.
I've also worked with instruments with very, very strong magnetic fields. And when you're working with things like that, you're not wearing a watch anyways. You take all of your metal objects off of you. Um, and by the way, the Rolex Milgauss is not even tested to withstand those magnetic fields. So I'm talking about
Wow.
NMR instruments. So people who use a Milgauss and use an NMR, just take your watch off and run your samples that way.
Good to know.
So
I
you
just got to
said
quickly ask there, James. Sorry to butt in, but do you play with lasers? I keep talking about on my channel that you're playing with lasers and stuff. Just put me out of my misery. Do you play with lasers?
So the short answer is yes, but the long answer is my specialty is not in lasers. So I use
Okay.
lasers to analyze my samples, but then I never built one myself. And
But you're not trying to fix them on the heads of sharks.
no,
Okay,
no,
just
Not yet. Not yet.
you said the Orient
checking.
Mako was your first mechanical watch.
yes.
Was there any other choices in making that first decision on buying?
Yeah, so it's really funny because I was watching YouTube during that time, and then I saw a watch with a sweeping seconds hand, and I've never noticed that ever existed in real life. So then I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. I wonder what this is. And I found out about mechanical watches, and this was towards the end of high school. So I said, I'm graduating high school. I want a really nice watch, something a little nicer, maybe a Rolex Submariner.
Mhm.
And then at that time, like Rolexes are pretty expensive. They're probably what, like $200. And then when I saw the actual price, I was like, I never knew that
Wow.
this cost $7,000. And keep in mind, this was like maybe over a decade ago. So Rolex prices weren't skyrocketing, but $7,000 for a tiny, tiny object just made literally no sense to me. But then now I'm very desensitized to the prices. And if you can find a Rolex Submariner for $7,000, you better buy everything that they have.
I'll take two.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting,
Cool.
right? How when we become watch collectors, you become desensitized to price. It happens to me all the time. You know, I and I've said it before. I'll look at a pair of pants or a pair of shoes, and I'm like, dang, $100 for that. That oh no, that's too much. But then I look at a Seiko 5, right, and the older ones, and it's $100 or $80, and I'm like, that is a steal. I am taking three of those. Like, it's so cheap. Oh man. But Gary, how about you? Let's talk a little bit about you of
Oh
how.
man, so it started for me when I was really, really young, and I was really young many, many years ago. So when I was a kid, the internet, but not even computers existed. So as a kid, I used to get like big, thick magazines. If you wanted to go shopping without going to the shops, it's like, you know, big catalogs. And if I wasn't looking at toys as a youngster, as a really young kid, I was looking at watches. I was just obsessed with watches. And I got my first adult watch when I was like 7 years old. And I used to have to wear it on a big, thick sweatband to make sure it fit me. And ever since then, I was just, I don't know what it was, just obsessed with watches, and always had adult watches growing up. But then I went and I
What
played a lot of
was that first
sport.
watch?
It was an old, believe it or not, dive watch, but it was
Mhm.
like it had loads of complications on it and stuff. It had a rotating bezel. I think it was a Casio. I mean, we are talking
Okay.
almost 40 years ago now when I had
Right.
that watch. But
Woo.
yeah, funnily enough, I tried to find that exact model so that I could potentially rebuy it, but I've been unable to find it. I've trawled through the internet, and I can't find it. But I've got pictures of me, funnily enough, as a kid wearing it. I just can't see them well enough to see what it is. But yeah, then as I sort of became late teens, early 20s, I played a lot of sport, and I worked on building sites. So I stopped wearing any rings, any watches, anything. And so for about 20 years, I just lost interest in watches. But then I'd say 5-6 years ago, I got an office job and started wearing watches again. And I just, with the YouTube stuff, it just takes over. I mean, I literally spent every spare minute watching reviews, learning about watches. And then I just started to buy, you know, Seagull 1963, the Bambino, all the ones that, you know, have been reviewed to death. And it just escalated from there again. And I don't even want to tell you how many watches I've got now, but they're for the channel. They're for the channel. They're not for me.
Sure.
I don't really want them. I just have to get them for the channel.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell myself that every day.
It's for the
Every
channel.
day.
It's a business expense. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
how can I review watches if I don't buy watches? You know.
I have to get this watch made, but I don't know how I'm going to get it made. And, you know, Gary is picking up a bunch of subscribers, so I'm going to show this to him. And if he says no, then he says no. But if he says yes, then I'm not really sure what happens next. So I sent Gary the Chronos logo design, which, by the way, was not picked. So
Oh, wow.
somebody else won that one.
I
But
didn't. It wasn't my choice. I wasn't the one picking it, by the way.